Hi everyone, Angie Woods with Dog Psychology 101. I'm very excited today. A very special guest, Linda Parelli. She helps me with horses. I help her with pups. And so she didn't have anything severe, but I'm going to let her introduce herself and tell you who she is and what she does, and then we'll go from there. Hi, Linda.
Hi, and thank you for having me on this. I feel very privileged, first of all, to work with you because it's great to find somebody with a like mind. You know, I do horse psychology and you do dog psychology.
Well,
and a lot of people confuse that with obedience, and it's beyond obedience. It's really about connection. And so that's what I'm doing in my program, which I call Happy Horse, Happy Life. And I teach people how to connect with horses, how to help them relax, how to get them to be more responsive, more confident, and then of course all the things that are important for riding: impulsion, flexibility or bending, and harmony is the ultimate goal. So what's really been fun working with Angie is that I have these two little dachshunds, and of course she tells me if they were big dogs you would not let them do half the things that you allow them to do. And so it's often like, well, don't use my stuff against me, because what I do with horses I'm not really doing with my dogs, and it's because I don't understand their psychology. So it's been fantastic to learn more about that and know how to be effective and help my dogs be happier, because they're not happy when their leadership is not clear.
That's right.
Just like horses.
Yep. You have to know your role. So doesn't this all sound familiar? Same thing, different species. And it's what brought us together, and it's been a lot of fun. We continue to learn all the time.
All the time.
Right?
And never a dull moment, let me tell you that.
Never.
You know, Angie, you've got an amazing energy, and you know, you're not just effective with with dogs, you're effective with people.
Well, thank you.
You know, that's really important, because in the end, we're the ones that have to change. I often say that, you know, the horse was fine until we showed up.
That's right.
Same with the dog.
Yes.
The dog was fine until we showed up. So are we improving him, or are we bringing out the best, or are we just kind of surviving, or even making them crazy?
I often say I help people. I just use the dog as the in-between, and really horses, because we have to be stable if we want to rehabilitate or change an animal.
Totally.
We
and
can't
it's
do
the same.
It
same
is.
with horses. You know, and I think about it in terms of, you know, I'm really teaching people how to be good leaders and good communicators.
That's right.
And most of us don't have a plan. You know, it's like with horses, you have to have a plan, not just in what you're going to do every day, but also your training plan. You know, what do you want that horse
long term
to become? And I never thought about what I wanted my dogs to become.
Yes.
You know, it's like they're my pets.
They are.
And they keep me company, and we have fun together, and they love being around the barn. But what am I doing to make, like, I think they have a good life, but are they really happy, and what can I do to give them a great life?
Correct.
So I need to have a different understanding and different plan as a leader.
To understand what's important to them, just like we have to understand what's important to a horse. And that's where the species are different. We have different motivators and just different psychology. But so she has two little dachshunds, like she mentioned, and they're both right brainers. One's just a little more grouchy than the other.
I'm more introverted and more controlling.
Yeah, so even you guys will be able to see in her facial expressions how she's just kind of one of those that say she has a resting bitch face. And she just doesn't want to be bothered, and she wants everything her way, which is totally okay until you won't move out of the way, and it causes a problem. She was kind of biting people in the feet, right, in the kitchen. She would claim her little area, and nobody could bump her, move her.
Yeah,
anything.
Freak.
Yep.
And then she'd attack.
Yes. So stay tuned. It's good stuff. Here we go. If you're new to our channel, please be sure to drop us a like and hit the subscribe button below. You'll be the first in line to receive our new videos.
I have two little dachshunds, and I never had small dogs before. I always had like sheepdogs, like Sheltie.
Great Danes.
And then I had Great Danes, and then I was given a dachshund, and so I'd never had a scent dog, you know, that would go out and get distracted and things like that. And I was lucky with the first one. He was pretty left brain, introvert, extrovert, but he was very connected to us. And so even though sometimes he'd want to go, oh, I don't know if I should do that, you could say, hey, and he would obey. And then we got Lulu, and she was a lot harder for me to read. I thought she was kind of bipolar because she'd be really overexcited at one point and then very shut down, over submissive, but it just felt like I can't come to you, and also I won't come to you. A little bit cuspy on the left brain introvert extrovert, left brain introvert and right brain introvert side. And so then she also wants to be very with me, so she'll follow me wherever I am. She's always nearby. But then her little hunting instincts have kicked in just recently, like in probably the last 2 months.
Okay.
And now she can get on a thing and just go, right? But then calling her, if I need her to come to me, she'll hit the deck.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
So from a stranger, I would see that as being a nervous, fearful, really right brain type of thing. But from you, that's just I don't have to listen to you.
Yeah.
And I think you're suffering a little bit from small dog syndrome.
What's that?
Well, we really let them do things we don't let big dogs. Like, did your Great Danes lay on the little pillow that they like?
No.
Right? And be right here all the time?
No.
And so we tend to give them more of our space. And I don't know, we just tend to behave more.
We love having them like,
we do.
Yes.
And me too. But then there's also this other side of, like, you've got to be the rule setter and the boundary setter and things, and everybody knows you're Linda Parelli. You're a master horse reader. So isn't it interesting that you interpret things like all the rest of we Americans with our dogs?
Well, I know, and of course, you know, I always tell people now, just know that I'm not known for dog training.
Yes. Yeah. So, because many things, like for instance, like when you ask a horse to come to you, and even we're right-brained.
Oh, yeah.
What do you have a method there for making the horse come to you?
It's exactly what you did.
We interrupt the negative thought, and we encourage the positivity.
And slowly.
And
especially
slowly.
with an introvert.
Exactly.
It's slow, but it's clear. Yeah.
Yes. And it's just that, the predator type, so the horse is really right-brained and going, oh my God, right? For her, with you, it's not really that way. It's more of, I'm right-brained, but mom does everything I want her to all the time. So it's kind of my nature to be a little rebellious with her. And so now we're just going to work on the relationship a little bit.
Excellent.
We'll do some invisible line exercises. It's one of our games we do with dogs, just to set rules, because we have to change their mindset. Like, where are you in my family? That's what she's gauging you on. Now, where do you sit here? And so you have to be the parent, and she has to be the child. And that's what we're going to work on today. All right, so go ahead and call her.
Lulu. Lulu. That's pretty typical. Moxie came.
Well, she's slowly making her way.
Yeah, and that's
pretty typical of her.
It's pretty typical. She really takes a long time. If I've got food,
she comes right away. Yeah.
Now, if she's distracted, scared, whatever, the food doesn't matter. But if she's in a really quiet spot, and I call her, then she'll come over like pretty excited.
Okay. Yes.
But any other time I call her,
her nose has got her. Yeah.
It's more like that, even in the house.
It's gonna hook her on a little latch with your ring.
That's the problem with little dogs, is
everything is tiny.
Things. That's why I was making that leash where I could just
now
like pop it over them.
When I'm dealing with her, don't come in. Okay. They shouldn't interfere. Like if you're petting one, leashing one, or anything, they should just be out here. And you see, she's such a little sweetie. She doesn't require you. She just needs you to communicate. She likes to make you happy, unlike her sister.
Right.
All right, so I'm not going to put any tension on this. Let's just back away from her. So there's a little technique here. We want to make sure that we stay on the proper side of the line. So many people leave it and go on the wrong side.
Where do you want me? Just to come?
Yeah, just hang with me. We're going to, let's just let her get a little bit busy. I see her sister sniffing her. All right, so now, that is don't you dare call me. You see that? All right. Your sister's
it's a real kind of stoic look.
Yep. Okay, so we're going to bend down and get low. All right, so now call her.
Lulu.
Nice and plain and encouraging. Yeah. And the bees go, okay, so now, yes, all right. I notice how I feed. That's good. Yeah, now get happy. Get happy.
Good girl.
Right. That's right. Now when she comes, love on her. Oh, look who she's coming to.
Yes, I know. She's like, I know who the real bitch is.
That's right. That's right.
What a good girl.
Good. So that was actually a really good repetition. So now let's walk over here.
Another question about that.
Yes.
If I go, good girl, she shuts down.
Well, she may a little bit, but it might.
Moxie,
I think she actually likes it. I think it's just her.
Yeah, she gets all like the energy feels like pressure to her.
Yep.
So usually I just touch her
really
really
softer.
soft.
Yes. Yes. It's like my little donkey. He likes soft love.
Yeah, so I go. So I just go, good girl.
Yes,
like
we
that.
LBEs are vigorous lovers. Okay, we like to rub and pat and things. All right, so now let's go this way. And I like to walk where they like to sniff, where...
Yeah, that's good. Set it up.
Yes, yes. All right, so you see how she's holding her ground again. Now, we want her to kind of follow us. Now, she's a good follower typically, but we want to make her do it when we want her to do it. All right? And being she's an introvert, she might be a slow follower. So go ahead and call her.
Lulu, here.
Okay. Oh, yes, yes. Now, hop up and follow me. Okay. There we go. Now, if she slows down, we're going to tap the leash a little. So when you call her, anytime she hesitates, just a gentle little communication. Like here. I'm a smoocher. You smooch?
Yeah.
Got a little feet. Yeah, no big deal. Back to being loose. Yeah, this one's quite heavy for her. She's so tiny. So go ahead and call her.
Hello.
Yeah. I like the way you're quiet. When you're quiet with dogs, they need to pay more attention. It's good, because even when I'm hiking with my dogs, all I do is, regardless of where they are. So she's not shutting down like normal. Let's let her go over here and like get cozy, you know? I want to try to get her when she wants to be stubborn with us. Yeah, I say let's let her get cozy and then we'll ask her to work. Lulu. Okay, so not listening. Lulu, come on. Come on. Now being animated is good. Lulu, come on. When she starts doing that, sometimes even doing this, just getting her moving. But you see why we use the little light line, so we can actually direct her. Come on. And also you can drive her a little bit too.
Good job.
All right. Lulu. Now get happy. Here. Come here. Come on. Happy, happy. Here, come on. Come on, puppy. Get over here. This is how we start bringing a little energy into her. Come on. Yes, love, love, love. Yeah, whatever she likes.
Good girl.
That's right.
So she's,
yes, if she likes the belly, that's great. Because remember, right brain introverts, you've got to convince them, like, why? So she needs to know how happy. Like, this is awesome.
She's a good girl.
But also when we start to think about the concept, like if love is just not free all the time, right? That's why husbands love it so much. Right? Okay. Then it actually means more. You can use it more for a currency because she does love it. But when you just make it free, it loses its luster.
Yeah.
And that's the hard part about living with a dog and have her, you know, cuddled up all the time is what we do. So
that's right. Yeah.
But kind of back to the little frustration thing that we talk so much about. If you don't give it to her all the time, she'll be like, oh my gosh, yes, I'm going to come to you. You're going to give it to me. And so sometimes even having a week or two span of time to where you really hold off on the actual petting part, it does two things. It starts to flip your hierarchy around because you're not acting like that one anymore. You also notice how much the dog comes to you. But before you go, yeah, she comes to me a lot. But you go, oh my God, when you're not doing it and you're having to go, you really realize how often.
And when she leaves?
Yes. That's
like if that was a horse.
A horse normally.
I wouldn't let it leave.
So it depends on what your goal is.
I would give it a little consequence.
Yes.
It's like where are you going?
Yes.
Stay connected.
Yes. And if this is the time to where you want her connected to you, yes. Let's say maybe we're hanging out with a crowd, there's a bunch of dogs over there and I want her with me, then yes. Then you would go, don't go over there. You're right on, see? Now we just apply it here. But if you just called her and you're just having a practice session of, I'm just practicing, just come, and then let her go again so you can practice again. That's right.
Okay.
Yes. Perfect. That was a good repetition with no line on her.
Yes.
And then what you do is just wait for her to be distracted again. You see, she's all about the nose, and then you do it again. And then end it on good notes, just like you would the horse. You'll know when to stop. You don't want to overwork her and get her brain overloaded.
Good dog.
That's right.
Following. What a good girl.
Yeah, you want to do that? Let's take them to the kitchen. All right, we're getting ready to practice the invisible line exercise with Linda and her dogs. So this is a really important exercise for Linda and Lulu particularly because she's been holding her ground and biting people's feet and having tantrums when she gets bumped into. And so her yielding to people is a really big deal. She's a right brain introvert who's been trying to behave like a left brainer with her mom. So I gave Linda a little lesson last night. Let's see how she's doing today. Just ask them to leave the kitchen. You just act like you're about to prepare dinner. That's right. So we notice how Lulu's holding her ground here. She should be yielding to her mom. And so patience and quietness. Yep. So we're going to teach her to make a choice. She's not biting your foot. That's a plus. Now, versus pushing her anymore, let's stand right here in front of her. And you know how you do with the horses?
A little rhythm.
Just a little, yep. In the direction you want her to go. And the intensity, you'll learn how to match her threshold for it. And maybe if she rises up, maybe just use her booty. Yep. Because otherwise you're just pushing her. We want her to stand up. That's right. Little rhythm, little boop, boop, boop. Yep. Just enough to get her going.
She wants to bite now.
And let her do it if she wants to, because we can't avoid it if she wants to put that energy into it. Yep. You're almost there. Yep. Now when she turns around and looks at you, you be looking like that's exactly it. That's like a little dominance exertion, right? Can't do what I want with you, but I can do it in this bed. Okay. That's funny.
Just ignore it.
That's good.
That's a good dog.
No,
nothing like that.
Love it. And then later, like if she were a treat girl, love to treat, awesome. But I'm not going to bribe her. I'm going to wait until her brain goes into compliance, happiness mode. Then I would give a treat, which might mean the first time or two we don't get a treat.
Right.
So many people give a treat when the dog's excited, still obstinate. You just had a big fight to get her over there. It's not time for a treat yet. When the feeling is right.
Awesome.
Very good.
And that was interesting, your interpretation of when she went over there and went a little crazy. Because that's how I think she was
celebrating.
Bipolar, you know, it's like one extreme to the other, right? And
okay, now don't let her come in.
So
that's good. That's good. So remember, like if your line is this side, that's the line, like right there. Yep. Yes. Now look at her, right there. Okay, so the fact that you went up right here and she stopped right there, that tells you that that's a good right there. Yep. Backward.
Out.
Now she'll turn around and look at you again. Be looking at her like that's exactly what I want. Now, if she continues to party on that bed like that, then I would address it.
Okay. Just interrupt it.
Yeah, because sometimes like one dog will get onto another dog. And like the real bossy one that like won the whatever will come over and that's a little bit about what that is. So she's doing it. So remember how you talk about compliance and not willingness?
Yeah.
She's complying. We got to work our way to willingness.
Awesome.
This is stage one.
And you know, that was the same thing with horses. Like if they're resisting and pushing through the pressure, then you use a little rhythm.
That's right. That's exactly what it is.
Can't lean on it, can't lay on it.
Yes.
Yeah, that was just like pushing a little.
Yes, while you were pushing her, you saw it. Yeah, she's like, yes. And there's no choice.
Yeah.
It's a force.
Yeah.
No choice. So this is good. And so by doing this all day, just part of your life, like go over there, stay over here, don't follow me there. And when she's staring at you and tracking you, it's the same thing. Interrupt, because it's the same boundary.
You don't have to worry about me.
Don't worry about me. Remember, we're the big dude or the big woman. We're their protector, their provider.
Yeah.
Not vice versa. I have not met a dog that paid my mortgage or provided for me. When that happens, I may give way. Okay. Until then, I'm the parent. They're the kid. You know, for her, a big part for a dominant-minded dog with you is going to be personal space. Make sure you invite it and get off me. And you got to do a lot of that in the beginning, and then it gets easier. Then you'll learn how to read those little feelings of, oh, I shouldn't let her in yet. And she's had this feeling like, let me in. You got to be humble. Okay. That's really what it's about. She's not behaving like a nice, humble lady.
No.
She can, though.
No.
So I think you're going to do good. So I'm going to check in with you later and see how you're doing. So
very cool. Thank you.
When you get to where this is a zero challenge, you know that you've mastered it. I mean, when you start walking and she just goes, okay.
Yeah.
And really, you could have that by today.
Yeah. I see
if you just do it.
That was already better.
Yes, but every time she holds her ground, especially friends, when you guys are around and she holds her ground. Did you guys watch her last night? I know you did. Were you in here last night? You weren't. She had a big tantrum. You probably will get to see it when I'm gone and maybe she tries it again, but don't be upset by the tantrum. You know, she's going to try to bite your feet and scream and yell at you. You just act like she's not doing the thing and I'm coming that way. And she will quit. If you get your family doing this with you, this will stop so fast, because what she's going to do is she's going to learn she can't do it with her, and then she's going to go, oh, so let me try it with you, let me try it. She's going to try to find that one that feeds it. And so you'll find people do
Yeah,
that.
we
You
all
just gotta-
walk around her.
Yeah, no, don't walk around her. Yeah. Now, if you're holding your ground, it always goes back to interpreting intention. If you're holding your ground with me, we're going to fix that. Do not hold your ground.
Nice.
If you don't let a human do it, don't let a dog do it. Fantastic. And Linda has done a great job today. She's been a great student. So Lulu is really giving her a little run for her money. And so everything that she knows about horses, we're just really making it applicable to canines, the way they do things and operating in their psychology. We have to be a multilingual species ourselves in order to live healthily with horses and dogs. And in fact, if you're a cat person, you should understand your cat's catanality. And
Absolutely.
So, yeah, and pet anality. So whatever we choose to live with, it's really our job to learn that animal psychology and language. So we're very excited and happy to be working together and sharing all this knowledge.
I'm really excited.
Yes.
You know, there's something that we always talk about when people go, oh, my horse is afraid of the trailer, or he's afraid of this, or, you know, won't do this and won't do that. We always go, it's not about that.
That's right.
Right?
That's right.
And so then people go, well, what is it about? We go, it's the relationship.
It's all about the
The
relationship.
relationship of the leader and the follower.
That's right.
And, you know, as close to a partnership as possible. It's not just like, you know,
No, exactly. Mutual
you
respect.
are nothing and I'm everything.
No,
But
not
there's
at
a
all.
mutual respect and understanding, and a companionship, and in a way, a collaboration.
Yes.
So that
yes.
harmony is what we're looking for.
Yes.
And we have that 51% lead.
That's right.
So
yes.
I'm really excited learning these strategies, because
Yes.
I want to be a lot better with my dogs and not just be a victim of like, oh,
That's right.
especially when they're little cute things like that. So,
Well, we can learn to be natural with horses and dogs, and that's
Absolutely.
really what it's about. So
and people.
and people.
You know, what I really enjoy about your style, Angie, is that, you know, even though you're very good with dogs, you're very good with people.
Well, thank you. Thank
And,
you. I'm
you know,
really a
you know
people
that.
teacher. Yeah.
That's exactly what it is.
Yes.
You know, we're all about that. And it's the same thing with us and horses.
Yep.
You know, it doesn't matter how good you are with horses. If you can't help the horses' owners,
That's right.
then
Yes.
you've got nothing. And, you know, well, it was entertaining, but
Yeah.
now I still don't know what to do when you leave.
Yes.
So the teaching part is so important, and,
Yeah.
and you're an excellent teacher.
Well,
It's
thank
very
you. Thank
clear.
you. And you are too. Thanks so much for having
Thank
us.
you.
Yes.